What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Veve Vibes, where I love talking all things Veve NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So I'm going to jump into the meat and potatoes of this. I wanted to make this video because we've actually got into a very weird position right now in the market. Typically after the golden moments and 12 days of Veve, within like a few hours, even to just a day or so after these huge drops, or once that event finishes, usually we see the market rebound very aggressively. Prices go up anywhere between 10, 20, 30, 50%, sometimes like 200% on certain NFTs, especially if they're grails or like A-tier NFTs. But we've seen kind of the opposite effect after the lenticular cards as well as the Marvel Mighties with Spider-Man, that the market is just continuing to squeeze. Things are getting cheaper. People are just buying the dip and buying the dip and buying the dip, and it's still dipping right now. So I actually came up with 5 reasons why we're still having this gem squeeze going on till today, even though I think some of the reasons are more legitimate than others. I'm probably going to start with the reasons I think are least likely the actual case why the gem squeeze is continuing, all the way to the number one reason, which I think is the main culprit why we're having this gem squeeze even still today. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll go ahead and start with number 5.
What do you like to play?
Pokemon!
Pokemon?
That's right, Pokemon. So this rumor mainly started because a few different reasons. Mostly it's Alfred Kahn. Alfred Kahn is the chief marketing officer for Veve. He is basically the grandfather that went over to Japan, got the name Pocket Monsters, I believe, brought it over to the US, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! And a few other pretty popular animes, and named it Pokemon, no longer Pocket Monsters. Also, Jeremy Padower is pretty close with Veve. He owns a lot of Omi. I'm sure he plays the drops. He actually owns the number 100 Todd, like the actual number 100 Todd. So he's a big supporter of like the Veve movement. He's also the current license holder of Pokemon as well, and also runs one of the biggest toy manufacturing companies in the world. So that, along some other things, also February 27th, in case you guys don't know, is National Pokemon Day. Pretty much across the world, I'm sure certain countries celebrate it more than others, but it's going to be the 25th year anniversary of Pokemon. So everything just lines up, all the stars are aligned, right? It's just going to happen. I still don't think Pokemon's going to happen. If I was put in a life or death scenario and someone said, hey, is Pokemon going to come out at the end of this month? I would say no, probably 95 times out of 100. And that's for a few reasons. And that is simply that just Veve is just not ready for the amount of people that are going to show up for Pokemon, and that the server is just, or I should say the app itself is just not ready. We're still having a lot of app issues, server load issues, market listing problems like we saw not too long ago, where listings were still there but not being taken off of the platform. They're currently under fire for bots as well as just restricted accounts. They're currently not doing any advertising, so I would assume if they're doing any kind of Pokemon, they want as many people on the app as possible, burning Omi, burning gems, getting involved into the app. There's no Omi to NFT yet to kind of help reward the current Omi holders, and again, bring more hype around the cryptocurrency that is Omi, that the fact that, hey, if you own this Omi, you're able to buy some of these Pokemon NFTs off our platform very easily, get some nice investments. They also admit Veve is like short-staffed. In the most recent AMA, they kind of joked around about that. They're just simply just short-staffed, and that they're going to have to unload some more work on some of their the current people that are working. They also know that the current drop system just simply is not fair. I think they're going to wait for the queue system to be completely finalized and smoothed out before they even think about dropping Pokemon, because again, bots is an issue. They know people are going to be upset with the fact that they have like slow internet, and currently right now, if you lose a drop, you're just not sure what their actual reason why is that you're losing that drop. And on top of that, some articles I dug up about which countries are the most popular when it comes to Pokemon, or which one does like the most Google searches with the name Pokemon in it in those regions. So we have like Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Chile, Peru, China, India, Mexico. We have no localization for any of those things. So I think Pokemon is just way too early on the app, and with all these issues going on right now and not enough things in place, I simply just don't see Pokemon happening. But I will admit, if there is an IP that could basically just stall the Veve market economy for an entire month, put everything on pause, and have everything even perform a short little gem squeeze, it probably is Pokemon. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's Pokemon. I think it's more likely these next 4 reasons are the actual issue of this current gem squeeze. All right, and reason number 4 is kind of a two-parter. I guess I kind of put these two together, is that there's no really hard-hitting new IPs just yet, and also like what's over the horizon. I know this is kind of the same excuse I made for after the 12 days of Veve. There wasn't any big announcements yet, so people just started buying things up. I do think there was a huge injection into the market of just a lot of gems in December, so people just had things to buy. I mean, that's still happening today. There's still anywhere between like 2 to 5 million gems being purchased on the app every single day, but yet we're still in a gem squeeze, so where are these gems going? I think part of it too is that people are just waiting for whatever's on the horizon. Star Wars has been teased a bit, so we're not sure if we're going to get any like Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett related stuff. We could be getting Golden Moments 2.0. There's a lot of things on people have been rumored and talked about on Twitter as well as on Discord and stuff. So I think right now people are in a bit of holding pattern. I think some people are expecting something pretty big happening towards the end of this month. I could have sworn I heard somewhere through the grapevine that Star Wars is being teased at some point, either like late this month, maybe early next month. Especially when something happens during May, like May the 4th, that could be something that could be happening, but that's still so far out. So not exactly sure, but I think people are just kind of waiting for, hey, what's the next big announcement? We haven't gotten like a new hard hitting IP in quite some time. Let me just stock up on some gems in the meantime and just see if that does come to fruition. All right. And number 3 is MTO, which means money transfer license, money transmitter license. Not exactly sure what that T stands for. But long story short, it just means gems to fiat, gems to real cash, whatever it is. You're basically able to cash out on the app. So I'm assuming it's just going to be a $1 to 1 gem ratio or whatever the current currency is in your country for the most part. So I'm sure you're going to get with some sort of fees as well as a capital gains tax if you do cash out to your bank account or anything like that. But I think last AMA, people were kind of expecting, since the last AMA, people were expecting that MTO would be out probably at some point around end of Q1. So maybe the kind of selling off, or maybe that gem squeeze anticipation of MTL started a bit early. But now with the most recent AMA, it doesn't sound like it's happening anytime soon. So if I had to make a just wild guess, maybe towards the end of like Q2, all we really know is that MTL is going to happen first. OMI to NFT, I think per David you said, OMI to NFT will happen later this year and MTL will just happen before us. But where's that range at? Not entirely certain, but maybe that gem squeeze happened a bit earlier, which is why I think it's still happening, because technically they didn't give us a timeline, so it could happen at any point in the next month, maybe 2 months, 3 months. Not entirely sure, but maybe that could be the part of the reason why the gem squeeze happened a bit early and is continuing to today. But these next 2 reasons, I think, is probably the main reason why we're still in it right now. All right, and reason number 2 is that this is simply just some natural retracement that we've gotten after like the 2.5, 3 weeks of hyper pumping that we had during January. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. I think Superman is a perfect example of this. I'm gonna show another example here in a little bit, but I don't think a lot of people realize like how much things pumped from all the way from January 2nd all the way till the second or third week of January. I mean, we had Superman basically go from 1,500 all the way up to above 8K, retraced down all the way down to 6K. There was a bit of a retest right here, went up and down. And then as more things were announced, I think a lot of people are forgetting that there's a whole lot of people that bought Superman all the way from 1,500 gems all the way back to June. So at this point, anything above 2K, 3K for a lot of people is just like, hey, it's free profit. I could sell it at any point. And especially since these last couple big drops that we had between the Mickey Mouse lenticular cards as well as the Marvel Mighty Spider-Man. I mean, if you sold Superman, I mean, even right now at 5K, if you sold Superman, you could probably buy the whole set of cards of either the Marvel Mighties or the lenticular cards, like even right now. So I think right now Superman's kind of an awkward spot where he's probably one of the cheapest grails on the app, 2.5% fee. You could sell him off and pretty much buy a very solid set of either the lenticular cards or the Marvel Mighties, especially the Marvel Mighties right now are pretty heavily discounted compared to what they were earlier. So this is just natural retracement because we have so many people that bought Superman below $5,000. They're more than happy to sell it at any time and take some of the newer things if they like that more. Now, if we look at something like Todd, something similar kind of happened. And I think just because, I mean, this actually just shows the strength of Todd right now on the app, because honestly, if Todd was literally any other NFT right now, I would have seen him retrace all the way down to about like low 9s or even 8 right now. But because it's Todd, it basically didn't do a Superman. Superman's retracing a lot right now. I think it's, that 2.5% fee, but so does Todd. Todd has that too as well. But I think it's just such a, in my opinion, it's still the grail of grails. Every new grail that's going to come out, people are going to compare Todd to it. But this is just natural retracement. Things have been just going up and down right now. Things are pretty much at a low point, but I could definitely see at any point in the next couple weeks to a month, Todd, Superman, a lot of the grails that are being sold off right now on, ultra rare Steamboat Willie, they could explode at any moment, because once a big announcement is done, maybe the next big announcement that's done, we're pretty comfortable knowing that, hey, I think Veve's going to be done with big announcements for a while. Let's go ahead and buy up our Todds or Supermans and things like that. So this is just simply just some natural retracement, because it's the same thing that's happening with Todds. I do think people, Todd holders, are a bit more convicted and holding Todd long term versus Superman. So that's reason number 2 is that this is just simply some natural retracement. I don't think it's anything crazy or any kind of big announcement coming up. It's just retracement that's been happening during that crazy pump of 2.5 weeks during January. All right, and last but not least, number 1 is that there's basically no punishment for dirty gems. So if you don't know what dirty gems means, I'm going to go ahead and let Dan, who's basically the number 2 guy over at ecomi Veve right now, explain to you what dirty gems means and how there's basically no punishment for it. I do want to give a huge shout out to Veve3 though. He's the one that gave me this idea. On my live stream not too long ago, we talked about the gem squeeze for a bit, but I do agree with Veve3 that this little announcement, it's like a 30-second clip. This actually exacerbated the gem squeeze because I think a lot of people were on the fence about dirty gems and what to do with it. I think this did cause a lot of people that were botting or not botting at all, whether they should enact with it or not. So I'll go ahead and let it play, and again, let Dan explain to himself what the repercussions are, if any.
Can we quickly define dirty gems?
Sure. Yeah. So we are fully aware that off-app transactions take place. We're not naive to that. And I will reiterate at this point that we do not support those transactions. You run your own risk by doing anything off the platform, and we cannot offer support for that. But we are not naive to it happening. And we are not punishing people for transferring gems around to accounts or anything like that. Obviously, not the easiest thing to track if it's an off-app transaction or if it's a genuine just gem transfer. But we are not just disabling accounts willy-nilly because people are sending gems around.
So yeah, I mean, you heard it here. Basically, that there's really no way for them to even track dirty gems. People basically spending real life money buying gems for 50 cents, 65 cents on the gem for the most part. And even if, it's really hard for them to track. And on top of that, there's really no punishment to be doled out. They're not going to punish people. If you do get scammed, that's on your account. Veve can't really help you. But really, the only repercussion is that if you get scammed or if you trust an escrow that just doesn't follow through, that's really the only repercussion. So Veve isn't going to lock your account. They're not going to really do anything. And I think right now, a lot of people that were on the fence about doing any kind of gem selling or anything like that, they pretty much got the green light to do it. As long as you have a trusted escrow, like, you can do it as much as you want. So I do think a lot of people have been liquidating their NFTs. Why wait for MTL where there's going to be a lot of capital gains fees and stuff that you have to deal with? Just sell stuff, either sell or buy gems through an escrow that you trust. And it's going to work out fine. So I want to thank Veve3 because this is something I completely overlooked. And I do think this is why part of the reason, or a main reason why the gem squeeze is actually continuing after the AMA. NFTs are actually dropping down even faster than they were before because basically Veve got the green light to do it. Now, personally, I've never bought, traded, done anything off app with NFTs or anything like that, or with other people for fiat. I'm not saying that I ever would, but now that I got the green light for Veve, it definitely seems a bit more enticing that my account isn't going to get locked or restricted or anything kind of weird like that. So yeah, I think that is the number 1 and possibly the main reason why we're in this gem squeeze right now, and it's actually gotten exacerbated since the most recent AMA. And that's pretty much it, guys. I wonder what you guys think about my list. Is there any other reasons or catalysts that you guys think that are causing the gem squeeze right now? To be honest, I'm pretty neutral about the whole buying gems for fiat or money at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, I'm just letting you guys know that if you are doing those kind of actions, that ecomi Veve can't really help you at all whatsoever when it comes to either recovering those gems, that fiat, whatever may happen at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care. I'll catch you on the flip side.